1, 2, 3. I got a story. Story once was told. Two young boys go into the liquor store where they sold their souls. I got a story.
Hello, and welcome to the Wet Bandits podcast. We are still in season 3. Our theme for season 3 is soundtracks, but we are in the midst of a long discography because we are a 90s themed, focused 90s focused podcast, and we analyze discographies. We look at different 90s bands and we cover their entire catalog from start to finish, with the exception of some live albums and EPs or whatever. We try to stick to full-length albums, studio albums. And we take a look at how the bands change and whether we like what they do, whether, it's easy to, call shots after the fact and be like, you know what, that did not work. But we try to take a little bit of a musician's angle on it and try to understand what they were trying to do. But in the end, all that matters is whether you liked it or not. Mm-hmm. And so that's what we try to do here. And we are nearing the end of the Red Hot Chili Peppers. And today we're going to cover disc 2 of Stadium Arcadium. This one is titled, they title it on the album Mars. And I don't know if, I forget. I did listen to our first episode that we've already done. And I definitely titled it wrong when we posted it. I called that one Mars. Oh. In my head, Mars comes first. I mean, from the distance from the sun, it comes first. Yeah. So I was like, oh yeah, Mars is the first one and Jupiter's the second one. But no. I think also because Jupiter...
Maybe they're going towards the sun, dude.
Oh, they must be. Yeah, skyrocketing towards the sun. I think in my head... And I think revisiting all this, I still kind of agree with it. Although really diving into this, I feel like the albums are closer than I thought they were, or more similar than I thought they were. But my thinking was, you've got Mars, which is the red disc, which makes sense. And then you have Jupiter, which is the blue disc. And the red disc obviously has the look of a more aggressive, feel. And the blue disc has the more like... Chill. Laid back, yeah. Right? And so I think that disc 1, listening to it with Danny California, especially in Michigan, like Wet Sand, like those to me are the ones that like rock and drive a little more. And so in my head, that one's like the more hardcore one. And the second one is more laid back. So in my head, I had them flipped. But anyway, long way of saying I was wrong. This is the Mars album. For whatever reason, they felt like calling it that. I'm sure that I could have researched this and found out why one is titled one thing and one is titled the other, but It's
almost better so we get our own
That's right. That's right. I don't want to hear why the artist did something. Yeah. I think we put our own stamp on it. So, yeah, that's what we did here. Oh, my God, we didn't even introduce ourselves. I'm Weezee.
Yo, Slam Jam.
And we're finally back on YouTube, hopefully. We haven't been on for a while, partly because we did a little 3-episode stint at Nostalgia Brewing in Gehenna, and it was getting dark. We didn't have enough light to do that.
Thank God.
Yeah.
Sun needed to go down, dude.
Yes, yeah. So, yeah, that was good. And then we were going to record last weekend. We could have videoed there. I guess, when we were at the trade show, which we'll talk about next episode. But first, before we get into the album, we have a new little bit we like to do here called Do You Lie?
Do you lie, dude?
Dude, do you lie? We'll look for all those hashtags. I think the shortest, most concise hashtag is just Do You Lie?
Do you lie?
Because that's how it started with you just asking me, dude.
It's like, I don't know, do
you lie? And I do lie. I think we all lie.
You're like, yeah.
I was like, yeah, almost daily. I lie on the reg. So, do you want to do a lie first, or do you want me to do a lie?
Sure. So this happened. This is more of a story.
I love stories.
Story once was told. So it was like at a church thing on Easter. So we just got done. Like I was in the youth group and making breakfast. We're eating breakfast, and like one of our jobs was like put candy in the Easter eggs for like the little kids.
Okay.
So one of my friends in the youth group said, "Dude, watch this, dude." Like we were talking about, he put a sausage link in the Easter egg and just like tossed it back, and it went in like the just field of Easter eggs. So one kid would later open an Easter egg with a sausage link.
Wow.
So basically, we were later confronted. We're like, "Did you do this?"
Dude, wait. Did you lie?
Dude, we're like, "No." And then we felt guilty because we were at church.
Well, yeah.
And they're like, "Yeah, we did it." And we had to go apologize to everybody.
Everyone? Not just the one kid who got left with the sausage egg?
The parents. Dude, if
Dude,
that
that's
was
what's
me,
wrong with the world.
I would have been pumped if I found
Yeah,
a sausage
hell
link.
yeah.
I'd be like,
Instead of what? What are they usually
I
getting?
don't know, Tootsie Rolls?
Yeah. I'd rather have a sausage.
Yeah. Give me
Dude.
a hard-boiled egg,
Yeah.
sausage, some bacon.
Dude. I could go for all those things right now. Do you want to hear something?
Yeah.
Wait, was your story done?
Yeah, basically.
Okay. For real? Was it done? You said basically, like maybe you had more.
I mean, that's basically the story.
Okay, here we go. So I don't know if you know this, but oh yeah, we talked about this. So I've been sort of vegan for like 3 weeks now. This is not, don't take this the wrong way, but this has nothing to do with the morality of eating or using animal products. This is strictly, I like to be a guinea pig. I like to experiment on myself. So I watched this document. I don't know if you can call it a documentary. This investigation maybe on Netflix that a lot of people are watching called Game Changers, which is basically about athletic performance and veganism. And I am very skeptical of things like this. Did you put this sticker on me?
No.
Dude, do you lie? I don't know where that came from. But yeah, what was I saying? Oh, yeah. I was saying that I'm usually skeptical. Like, I'm very quick to discount things that seem like outside the norm. You know, I'm a little more conservative by nature in regards to, I don't know what the words I'm looking for are, but like, basically like how I'm living my everyday life.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, I'm pretty happy. I'm content as I am. I don't see a lot of need to drastically change anything.
Yeah.
Pretty healthy, you know, whatever. But it was an interesting investigation as I searched for the word again. And I mean, let's be real. Arnold Schwarzenegger gets on there and is like, you know, I am a vegan. And I'm like, dude, if Arnold says it, I am 100% on board. So it's at least something to try. Now, I will still eat honey, so I'm not technically a vegan at all. I'm not, and I'll explain even more so in a minute. Technically not vegan because I'll eat honey because there's no animal protein in honey. Was that your dryer?
Yeah.
I don't know if the audience could hear that, but so there's and that's really what I'm avoiding is animal proteins. But boy, could I go for some sausage and bacon and a Easter egg is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like I do. I mean, I actually miss like dairy more, which I knew when I did this, that would be what was difficult.
What's in your
for me.
coffee?
Almond milk.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, I am not. My dad is a type 2 diabetic. And so now he has to drink Diet Coke all the time. He loves real Coke, but like now he has to drink Diet Coke. And he says, now he's like, can't even tell the difference. And I'm like, bullshit. You definitely.
You keep saying that.
I hope that you can tell yourself that honestly, but dude, do you lie?
Yeah.
Like, you know, that's not the same. Dude, honestly, lattes, we've got our Starbucks here, sponsored by Starbucks.
Yeah.
It's better with almond milk. I'm not even kidding.
Is it more like less like thick or?
It's just as thick, and I kind of like the thickness, I guess. But for me, more it's like the nuttiness actually is good. You know, it's honestly better. Like
Yeah.
I won't even once I have a marathon in March, once I get done with that marathon, I'm going to start probably eating meat again. Unless I feel like much better, which right now honestly I don't. I don't feel worse, but I don't feel like a lot better.
Yeah.
In fact, too much information. If anything, I'm just like gassier. I'm
Oh,
not
yeah.
a gassy person. Like I wasn't one of those kids that was like ripping farts and shit. But so I was never like gassy, and now I
Maybe your body's like getting out all the toxins.
well,
now.
maybe, and I'm definitely eating a lot more fiber. Like you can't,
yeah.
you can't not if you're just, but
That
yeah,
fiber, man.
I will not go back. I won't go back to milk lattes. It's almond milk, man. It's actually better.
I'll have to try that.
It's good. So yeah, I could really go for some meat. Is what I'm now. Again, I don't want to sound like we do this thing at work called Pizza Mondays, and I still eat pizza on Mondays. So I'm really only a vegan 6 days a week, which is like that's not being anything really. But well, once we get closer to that race, I'll be full on vegan for 6 weeks or so, and see how it goes.
Are you supposed to have like more endurance or?
Well, yes, that's supposed to be one benefit. It's also you're supposed, like anything in life, all things are connected, sort of. So yeah, it'll give you should theoretically get more endurance, in part because like you don't have these like fats in your blood, you know. But that should leave your system. Like the reason I don't feel like I'm a poser eating pizza on Mondays is because those animal proteins cycle out in like a day. So it's not like I'm ruining this experiment full on by eating meat once a week. What you really get some benefits of is that those animal proteins they're like if aspirin is anti-inflammatory, these are inflammatory. Like they make your blood vessels swell, so you don't recover as quickly from things. So yeah, it'll improve your endurance, but a lot of that endurance improvement, in theory, is because you're able to recover from the last thing you did faster. So you can like do more as you keep going on.
So what's your what are you eating now? Like how are you getting through it, man?
Okay, so I hope everyone's enjoying this on the music podcast, but how am I getting through it? Well, my wife.
I'm interested.
Yeah. My wife is an excellent cook, and dude, I'm not lying. She's really good. So she knows the kind of things to experiment with. So have you ever heard of seitan?
No.
I'm going to get this wrong, but it's basically it's like gluten. I think I'm probably going to be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's just like gluten. And what you do is you just like pound it into submission, and it makes like a decent fake meat when you're done with it. Like depending on how you prepare it, it can be like really firm or kind of like airy. But whatever the case, we have like a ton of this seitan, and I treat it like basically like beef. Like I'll make a little like sandwich with it, like a Philly cheesesteak.
Yeah.
With vegan cheese, which I have like a provolone and a cheddar and a feta, and it all tastes the same.
Really?
Yeah, the texture is different. They don't really taste, but they don't taste different. They all kind of taste like gorgonzola. They all kind of taste like a stinky cheese.
Yeah.
But it's fine. The texture is not bad. It's fine. Vegan mayonnaise, actually pretty good.
Yeah.
Like I'm down with the vegan mayonnaise. And so that's like a dinner. But I've also been eating a lot of rice and a lot of, cereal with almond milk or whatever, which really, I'm still looking for some variety. I pretty much told you everything I ate just now. It's really hard to go through the grocery store and find something that doesn't have milk in it. Like you'd be, if you want like bags of popcorn, like they all have milk in it.
Yeah.
It's really surprising to me anyway. So yeah, that's it. I don't know what else to say about it. It's
they should make vegan frozen pizzas.
They do.
Oh,
we had one last night. It was I love cheese. Here's the problem with vegan cheese. Vegan cheese tastes pretty good, but it melts weird. It's because it's with a lot of oil.
Yeah.
And when it melts, it like turns to glue. So I would like take a bite of the pizza and there's like glue on the front of your teeth is what it felt like. It tastes fine.
Yeah.
You know, and once you get over the fact that, you know, you have to scrub the front of your teeth with every bite, it tasted good. Crust was good. I mean, that's the thing. I like bread almost as much as I like cheese, and I can have all the bread I want for the most part. So it's really not that bad. The other thing, I mean, this is also appropriate because of all the marketing around the Impossible Whopper.
Yeah.
You know, the Beyond Meat, which if people don't realize this, it's not like Burger King is making meatless patties. They're outsourcing that. Like, it's almost like licensing. So there's a company that's making those patties for Burger King and McDonald's. I think they're both using the same company. And so I've been eating those too. They are good. They kind of taste like, they look more like a burger than they taste like a burger. Yeah. But they do taste beefy, and they make a burger that is good. It's not like I'll never want a real cheeseburger again.
Yeah.
But it's pretty good.
Yeah.
I can do it. So it's not as hard as I kind of thought it would be. I did accidentally slip up and eat some Parmesan goldfish. I think I was a little drunk. And I just wasn't thinking about it. Like, oh, they use real cheese in here. But that's the only time I've slipped up outside of going into it planning on eating. Oh, yeah, and I ate almost a whole pizza getting drunk at the trade show.
That was an exception. Mm-hmm. Totally.
It was really hard because without making a trip to the grocery store to actually get stuff, all I was going to eat was Lara bars and Pop-Tarts. And so I was starving and drunk. Like, I needed something.
Yeah.
So probably best to break down there. Oh, I haven't even told my lie yet.
What is your lie?
Dude, do I lie? Yes, I do. Right before I came here, I told my wife and daughter that I'd miss them. That's a lie. Now, I don't mean that. I love them.
Yeah.
My wife and daughter, so sweet. But other experiments I'm doing on my body, Wednesday I'm getting an allergy test done. I've been allergic to several things that I love for a little while now. And it's kind of getting to the point where it would be nice, because if I eat something that I'm allergic to, I get very uncomfortable. Like I can tell I'm not going to die, but I'm really uncomfortable for a little while. And it would be nice to know what I'm actually allergic to so I can just avoid those things. So I'm getting an allergy test done on Wednesday. Today is Sunday. The allergy test people told me that I need to stop taking my daily allergy medicine on Friday. So I haven't been taking my allergy meds. And I've got 4 cats at my house.
Yeah.
And I like raked leaves yesterday. And I was miserable in my house. I was so glad to get out of the house. So I'm just going to hang out for a while. And we're going to say we recorded like 10 episodes and I'll get home at midnight tonight or something. But yeah, so that was kind of a lie. I was kind of glad to be gone, but it wasn't a full-on lie. Like, I guess I miss them in a way, but I don't miss being at the house where they are. So there's that. Okay.
So, like, is an allergy test to, like, prick you with some needles?
I think they do. I think they prick me, like, many times on my back.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah. I think I saw pictures of that.
Yeah, I'm not... It takes they told me it'll be an hour and a half to 2 hours.
Damn, dude. Dude, take, like, a Game Boy. You should play Pokemon.
I should.
You should, man.
Well... Maybe I will.
Yeah, dude.
I don't know. I hadn't planned on it, but it's a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stadium Arcadium.
Stadium Arcadium, Disc 2. Disc 2 is Mars, not Jupiter.
I was just about to say Jupiter.
I saved you from yourself. So without further ado, normally we do like on this date, the release date for Stadium Arcadium. We already did that with the last episode. So if you haven't listened to Stadium Arcadium Disc 1, go back and listen to it to see what was popular at the time. But we're kicking it off. Song 1 is Desecration Smile. Listeners, sorry for all the skipping. I guess when I rip this CD, I have a lot of skips on. Yeah. So, that was a single. I love that song.
Yeah.
Might be my favorite of both CDs. Maybe.
It's a good one to like open a show with. I feel like.
Yeah.
Because I usually like bands that play like bangers, like as the opening track for shows. But that's like a good one to like kind of open up, like, and then play like Around the World right after that.
Yeah. I could see that because
I mean?
I was gonna say like it's a little bit laid back, but you're
Yeah.
right. Like they could start with that and then like rip into something kind of. This, it's for the sake of talking about it. It would be nicer if this one came later, because I think it illustrates a lot of what I think is good about the second disc, and especially versus what Red Hot Chili Peppers have done more recently. And what I mean is that there's nothing like really unique about this song. It's just like an acoustic guitar and playing chords. It's not like a really funky song.
But it's kind of unique for the Chili Peppers.
It is. It is. But with all that being said, nobody's really doing songs that sound like that right now. And so it's unique, but it's also kind of stripped down, and it's hard to be stripped down and unique nowadays because everything has been explored in the acoustic guitar, like drums and vocals realm. It's a combination of the melody and the sound, like the tone of the guitar, and just how the song builds as it goes through. It's there's no part of this song really, I don't think, short of one like sweet flea riff that he does going into like the second chorus, that I would ever like rewind and be like, listen to that again.
Oh yeah.
But I think it's my favorite on here. I think.
Why
there's
is
some
that?
good ones.
You just like it because it's chill, and
I don't usually go for the more chill songs that much, but there's just something about it. It's like
pretty vibey.
Yeah, and it's very powerful without being like loud or in your face. It's really good.
What's this one called?
The second one or the first one?
This one.
Desecration Smile. Oh. Desecration is a smile on my face. Yeah, that was my rendition. Okay, song 2. Tell Me Baby. This I think is my daughter's favorite.
Dude.
When this came on, she started dancing really slowly through this part.
And
then she literally screamed. when the song like kicks off, she was like, ah! She was so stoked. And she's running around the house. Lost her mind right here. Cool song, right?
Yeah, dude. Like what you were saying, any age, man, you play that song and it just puts you in a good mood.
Yeah. And this is not normally the kind of song I like from Chili Peppers, you know. In a way, for me, it's kind of like in the same realm as like Snow.
Yeah.
But I like this one a lot.
It's like for me, this was one like you always kind of forgot about because it's like the only hit on this side of the album.
Right.
You know, so it's
true.
like you only hear it when it's like on the radio.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. So when you hear it, it's like, oh yeah.
Right.
And when I saw them live the second time they played this, and it was really cool.
Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good song.
Yeah.
And not really anything more to say about it.
Yeah, I really like the drums in it.
When it gets to like the disco beat?
Yeah, and just the like bass and kick drum pattern.
Yeah.
I think it's really cool.
In the verse part?
Yeah, the verse.
Okay.
Yep.
I want to play that real quick because I'm not sure what you're talking about. Oh, I forgot we'd have to. Sorry for the hard skip here as we.
That's what.
I was gonna say, it seems like he's busy on the kick.
Yeah, it's just like
right, which is more than for those who don't play a lot. That's busier than usual.
Yeah, it's more like awkward than it is busy.
Okay, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's just in a weird spot.
Yeah, which is always it's one of those things. I say this a lot, especially when it comes to us playing live or any live band. You know. Most times, if you make a pretty bad mistake, no one will know. Like, no one's going to call you out on it, is what I actually mean. You know? But I think people do know. They just don't know. They just don't realize that they know it. You know,
and
like...
It doesn't last long either.
Uh-huh.
You know?
Yeah. You can tell the difference between a good band and a bad one, even if you can't explain it. Even if you can't be like, well, this guy's a hack and that guy sucks. Like... What you do is you feel it, for lack of a better way to say it. Like you can just tell there's something wrong. Mm-hmm. So anyway, my point being that people might not realize that he's doing this cool little thing out there explicitly, but you can tell like there's a different right. If he didn't, it would be more boring.
Yeah.
You know, all of a sudden the song's different. Yeah.
And that's like what good musicians do. It's like the subtle things, you know.
Yep. Number 3 is Hard to Concentrate. You like this one?
Yeah.
Dude, I like it a lot.
Hustle, bustle, and so much muscle. Our cells about to separate, and I find it hard to concentrate. And temporary, this cash and carry. I'm stepping up to indicate the time has come to deviate. And all I want is for you to be happy and take this moment to make you my family. And finally, you have found something perfect. And finally, you have found death-defying this mess I'm buying. It's raining down with love and hate, and I find it hard to motivate. And estuary is blessed but scary. Your heart's about to palpitate, and I'm not about to hesitate. And want to treasure the rest of your days here and give you pleasure in so many ways, dear. And finally, you have found something perfect. And finally, you have found. Here we go.
The audience hears a thud as I drop my phone onto the table. So that song's laid back, but like it does pick up later, and it's just like a cool like.
Yeah.
I'm again not really a fan usually of the more laid back songs, but the bass line is really cool and the guitar sounds are cool. Like that's a song I can just like, you know, I'm not gonna get like jacked up to it, but I do enjoy it musically, and I can just kick back and listen to it. I'm trying to avoid saying that I can just like enjoy like listening to it as like ambiance music, because I generally like hate that, but it's true. Like it's good.
Yeah. Do you like doing that knob guitar thing?
Oh,
That like on Meet Virginia,
yeah. Now, Meet Virginia, I actually think and I don't know if he's using it on this, but like, Meet Virginia is an EBO. Are you familiar with those?
Is that like when you?
No, it's actually like a piece that you hold. It's a magnet. So like as you get it closer to the strings, it makes it vibrate without you pressing it.
Weird.
So that's how you get that like swell sound. Pearl Jam used it a lot in like the late 90s. But I fake it by just using the volume knob on the guitar. Yeah, I kind of like it. There's more control with an EBO.
Yeah.
You know?
Did not know that, man.
Yeah. That's what people are coming here for. That kind of guitar playing insight. So, and if you didn't catch this, EBO is like electric bow. So like what they're talking, it's essentially turning your guitar into like a violin sounding thing. So rather than having the hard strike of a pick, it's more like a flow, more of a crescendo.
And that's what he's using?
I'm guessing.
Yeah.
You know, because again, you get a lot more control. And you get a lot more like, you can, I guess the best way for me to say it is that you can use a lot of different guitars with it, like without changing your technique much. When I play the Les Paul, it's much harder for me to do it because the volume knob is farther away from my hand.
Oh.
So like when we play Meet Virginia,
Yeah.
I can't really do that because I can't reach that far with my pinky. The volume knob on the Strat is very close to the strings, so I can do that little move. But when I do it with the Les Paul, I have to fret the note with my left hand hard enough that it'll vibrate on its own, so I don't pick it, and then just literally put my hand all the way down by the volume knob, and it doesn't sound as good. So, you know, with the EBO, you don't have to worry about that shit.
Yeah, dude.
So,
are those expensive?
I think that's why I don't have one.
Yeah.
I think it's one of those things. It's like, do I really want to pay? They might not be $200 anymore, but it's like, do I really want to spend this money for something I really only need for one song?
Yeah.
Like, but then again, you'd end up using it. Like, you could argue the same thing about a talk box, but then I'd start using it for other stuff too. So, yeah.
Plus, you could probably lose it real easily.
For real. For real. It's hard to lose a talk box.
Yeah.
It's a big long tube and a big speaker, and it's already attached to your amp. The EBO is like this little. It's
like
bigger
a
than a
capo.
pick. Yeah, it's about the size of a capo, kind of, which I have lost several times. So good point. Song 4 is 21st Century. It's a tight bass line.
I know.
All the creatures on the beaches making waves in the motion picture. Won't you keep this in between us? Such and seizure, wake up Venus. The dollar bill will mentally ill bill. A mom and dad take you down, be a sad pill. Turn the screw and twist my language. Don't forsake me, I'm contagious. There's a reason for the 21st century. Not too sure, but I know that it's meant to be. And that it's meant to be.
I like this song. I think there are other ways to make it good. The bass line is really, I'm sorry, there's other ways to do it and the song could still be good. I'm not sure it would be better. But when I mentioned the tight bass line, it does the same thing the whole time. Like even when they get to the chorus, which everything else kind of soars, the bass keeps going. Like it's all staccato and kind of quick. And like, it feels like Flea could have opened up the bass line a little bit, and it would have more of a soaring feel. Maybe they weren't going for that though.
Yeah.
has a cool like solo at the end of this song too. But I don't know. I like the song.
Yeah, I really like the tone of the bass.
Yeah.
Like, what are those things that some bass players like have that at the end of their neck to kind of mute it? Is he using one of those? He like, no, it looks like a sweatband, like, or
Dude, I'm embarrassed. I don't know.
maybe I'm just making stuff up.
I've got the solo playing kind of in the background here, which is cool. I don't know, man.
Yeah, I don't know.
You think that's the kind of thing? Like, what does it do? Kind of like palm mute it?
Yeah.
That makes sense. We've talked about that before. So instead of like if you hit the bass with an open string and let it ring as loud as you can, basically this thing would dampen it a little bit. Right, no sustain. It wouldn't make it staccato necessarily, but you wouldn't get that like full like ringing sound, I guess is what the term we'd use, but I don't know. It would kind of seem like he might be using something like that there, but I think you could pull this bass line off without that.
Yeah.
You know, that just sounds like the technique he's using to me.
Yeah.
Song 5 is She Looks to Me, which I know I said Desecration Smiles, like probably my favorite, but this one is really strong too.
This kind of goes like with the wet sand kind of.
Yeah, that's probably why I like it.
Looks to me like heaven sent, no lullaby kid, no 5%. Anyway,
Strip
wanna
my
cook
mind.
that cake, she's a dyke
Yeah.
from the likes of abandoned men. Lost in the valley without my horses. She needs somebody to hold. It looked to me like heaven sent this for your roughest night. She looks to me, alright. Who's gonna take you home and hold you when things aren't so bright? She looks to me, alright. Here's a long walk down, no track. It's a dirty walk in, it's a dirty walk back. Gonna learn no way too much, shooting dope in the back of a Cadillac track. Slow down the road to my back 40. She needs somebody to hold. It looked to me like heaven sent this for your roughest night. She looks to me, alright. Who's gonna take you home and hold you when things aren't so bright? She looks to me, alright. Down in the South Sea.
Yeah. So I think you analyzed this song from my mind better than I did because I think you're right. Part of it, like Wet Sand, part of this is like, I think I'd like to play this song, you know, especially, but what from the bass player's perspective, like I was kind of saying I wish Flea did something differently in the last song. This one, I think he's like perfect. Like he kind of like, he carries the chord structure a little bit. I mean, obviously, like the guitar is playing the chord structure very simply, but like Flea's telling you like this is what you're supposed to be hearing in your head. Do 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 do.
Yeah.
And it's like what it does is allows the guitar part to be super simple with the song still being cool. So what he's playing underneath every chord change is like critical to this song working, I think. And then the guitar solos are cool, and the chorus, I think the melody in the chorus is so good too.
Yeah, I like it.
I'm into this song. And then it goes from this one into Ready Made.
Oh yeah.
I knew you'd like this one.
Dude, the beat's so good. It's pretty rich.
Mm-hmm.
This is how the story goes. I got a cut to make your feet
Arizona.
We're gonna rock it to Ramones in the city of Ramona. Oh, ready made, steady as a river rolls. Ready made, and this is how the story goes. And if I give to you my second side, you got it. And if I stay the course, I'll stay the night. Gonna get it. Ready made.
The song's strong too.
This is like the only Red Hot Chili Peppers song with like a cowbell, I think.
Isn't there a cowbell in this one?
There is.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wait,
This-
I thought
this
you
is the
said
only.
one that does have a cowbell
Yeah.
in it. Oh yeah, there's a lot of cowbell in this
Yeah.
one. In fact, that's funny. I didn't pay enough attention when I heard it. I was like, "Oh man, I think there might be a lot of cowbell on this album." But no, it's just this
Yeah.
song. There's a lot of it on here, but it's good. It's appropriate.
I like this part.
Yeah,
Like how he turns the beat around or whatever.
dude, that's
how he-
exactly what I was gonna say. I knew that's
Yeah.
what you were saying. And it's Anthony Kiedis on the vocals, kind of like helps with that,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
he throws the vocals in a different place, and it does turn the beat
Uh-huh.
around a little bit. Which, as a musician, that's one of the things I struggle with the most, is when beats turn around. Like,
So what does that mean? Like I know if it plays, I can pick it out, but logically, I guess what I'm saying, what is going on there theoretically?
dude, it's one of those things for me that is, as I pause it, because I'm gonna try to play the example we're talking about, but I don't think I could explain it music. It's one of those things you can use it in a word you can use in a sentence, and you know what it means, but you
Yeah.
can't really define it. Turning the beat around is one of those things where you're like, oh yeah, I mean, I hear it, I
Yeah.
know what that is, but I can't define it. So I'm gonna try to find the spot we're talking about here.
And if I stay the course,
We gotta get back into the verse here.
Yeah, he does that every verse.
Yeah. So what I would say is the first couple bars of the verse are what we would call the normal part. Oh, I forgot
Yeah.
about this. And
Then
then
he'll do it right here.
and then the second part is turned around. You can feel it right there. Did I just not go back far enough? I didn't go back.
Here too.
we're gonna flop it all night in the middle of a back road. Yeah, ready made, baby, ought to celebrate. Ready made, and now it's time to deviate.
Dude, I think what happened there, I think how they turned the beat around here, I think they have a measure of 3/4 in the middle of a bunch of measures of 4/4.
Yeah.
Did you? I mean, let's hear it again. I hope the listeners are enjoying this. I think they are.
We're gonna flop
One.
it all night in the middle
Wait,
of a
let's start over 1 second to the verse. Yeah. Here comes the new. Two, 3, 4, 5, 8. Did I miss it? This is something we maybe should have prepared for.
Yeah.
Look, here's the thing. I think we're illustrating that it's hard to describe, but you can hear it. You can hear and you can feel it. If you're trying to count these parts, it's you can have a really hard time.
So this is. Sorry to interrupt.
No,
dude.
go for it.
So-
Because, sorry, I'm going to interrupt you interrupting me. The hard part about it, or what makes it a unique sound, is that the guitar doesn't change what they're doing.
Yeah.
That's the important part of turning the beat around. the guitar does not turn the beat around. Everybody else
Turn
does.
the beat around. So it's going
To feel the passion.
doon doo ba, doon doo goo ba, doon doo goo doo ga, doo doon boo ba, doo doon boo ba. So I think it's just really turning it upside down, dude. Like
Oh, yeah.
doon doo goo ba, boo boom boo ba.
Yeah, okay.
You know, so it's like instead of bum 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 ba, it's ba bum bum ba.
Yeah, so maybe the drums really just change what they're
Yeah.
doing. You'd be able to tell me that better than I.
Know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do. I do.
Yeah.
So maybe that's what happened. Maybe
Yeah.
we'll have to do an investigative report
Yeah.
about turning the beat around. Look for that in episodes to come. What is turning the beat around? So let's get out of this song quick. This is If.
Do they still play this live? I think.
Did you know all the songs they play live?
So it's Steph M, dude.
And if I had a clue, I'd know exactly what to do. If I were the wiser of the two. And if I saw it all so clear, I'd write it down and bend your ear. If I were the clearer of the two, we could take a walk into the canyons of Fifth Avenue, sing and dance just to name a few. All I do, all
So this is this album's version of like Porcelain
Oh,
or what was the one from By the Way?
I don't know.
I can't
man.
remember. Or Slow Cheetah.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
I don't know. Slow Cheetah's got a
Yeah.
little more going on than this one
Yeah.
does, but that's all that song is. It's fine to listen to, but I think there's no use in trying to figure out how they
It is
turn
what
the
it is.
Yeah, we're not going to turn the beat around with that one. So here comes Make You Feel Better.
Dude, this is so like.
Oh yeah.
Um,
That was me, not Anthony Kiedis.
Should we talk over this?
In a second. Yeah.
This reminds me of so like indie music.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like kind of poppy, but like
Yeah.
that's just comes to my mind. I
Yeah.
think it sounds honestly kind of like cheesy a little bit.
Oh, it does really sound cheesy.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, but and I think this is the realization I'm coming to is with the Chili Peppers. It's like, yeah, there are things I don't like about what they do, but when they do like today's pop music,
Yeah.
it's better than how the other bands
Yeah,
do it.
right.
You know, which is like a very old man perspective to have on this. But this song is good.
Yeah.
You know, like the chorus picks up and we only
we are the ones that will make you feel better.
like the harmony's interesting. I'm sorry. I'm really got into like a singing kick on this podcast. I don't know if it's
Keep it
working.
going, dude.
Okay. So I think that song
The snare
it's
never
good.
stops.
You're right,
You
it
know?
doesn't. Yeah. So they don't do any sampling on this album like they did with By the Way, do they?
Like, what do you mean?
Well, you pointed out to me that they
Oh,
have
yeah.
samples.
There was a couple stuff like in Ready Made, like that drum part.
Really?
It was like,
We can't go back to
Extra.
Ready Made.
Yeah.
We can't go back and do that one some more. But I didn't catch it,
yeah.
which is it's probably like CGI in movies. It's like the point is for you not to notice.
Right.
You can use samples appropriately as long as you don't notice that they're samples.
Dude, I'm really thinking about buying a sampler, man.
You should.
Well, one, like, there's this one, it's probably pretty expensive, but like Jason Bonham uses
Yeah.
it, like when he plays like acoustic shows too, so you can use it like as a full drum set too.
Whoa.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, like, you can have like a hi-hat and
Yeah.
a snare and a bass drum on it.
Yeah.
So,
You know what? Let's take a quick pause. We're gonna talk about the Wet Bandits band right now. All right.
yeah.
We don't ever get serious on here, and this isn't going to be that serious. But we had a little turnover
Oh,
in
yeah.
the band, yeah. it's not like hard feelings or anything. And I've talked to our keyboard player since, but Danny, our keyboard player, is going to be our backup keyboard player now. And that's because he is a doctor. He would not tell you that. Like, you wouldn't know unless you asked him. Like, what's your job? He'd be like, well, I don't like to talk about it, and you'd be like, oh, come on. I want to know more about your life. And he'd be like, well, I'm like a child neurologist. And oh, wow. And he's like, oh, it's not that big of a deal. But anyway, so that's what Danny does. And he's newer to the profession. And we live in Columbus, Ohio, and it's got a gigantic hospital here, one of the biggest children's hospitals in the country. And he's one of again, he wouldn't tell you this unless you pulled it out of him.
Yeah.
Like, Danny,
I need to know.
I need to know. Tell me, how many people are there in your department? And he'd say, well, it's not that bad, but one of 6. There's only 6 people. So when he can't make a gig, it's really hard for him to get out of work. And as we get more and more famous, as world domination, continues to move along, there are some gigs that we really need to know, like, in advance, whether all of us are going to be there for it or not. Especially like weddings and stuff. Like, they're hiring a specific product, and if you can't provide the product that they thought they were getting, that's not fair. That's not good business. So basically, another player that we know, Joe Chardelli, as I wipe my nose for YouTube, who I'd played with in the past, and so had Jeff, our bass player. So we're familiar with him. He's a good player, and he's, most importantly for us right now, available a lot. So we have a new keyboard player. That's our first call. We'll still see Danny again. In fact, maybe St. Patrick's Day, because Joe's not available and Danny probably is. So although I haven't brought that up to Danny or the rest of the band yet, except for just now. Luckily, the band doesn't listen to this. I don't know.
Sent a text.
Oh, maybe I did.
Yeah.
Anyway, so why am I bringing this up? Because you just brought up samples. We're trying to move into doing a little more party tunes, like hip hop songs too. And Joe has that capability too.
Yeah.
Like, when you have a keyboard player who has all those toys, he can do all that stuff. He's already talking about basically having backing tracks. Like, I mean, this, I don't know that we can do this, but you might have to play to a click.
Yeah.
And having a whole production going on underneath the band, which I don't know if that almost sounds like more work than it's worth, because I think usually we can pull it off.
Yeah.
Without needing.
I don't think we found any struggles yet
We have not.
Yeah.
Part of that is when you're the greatest cover band in Ohio and the world, ? You probably can pull anything like that off. But you talked about that. I felt like I was going to tell you about Joe sampling, so it seemed like an appropriate time to be like, hey, it's not really turnover, and it's kind of turnover, but it's more like change, positive change. Danny's going to be he understandably was like, what the heck? Like, why? But I think everyone's going to be less stressed out now, including Danny. Anyway, Animal Bar is next.
I like this one.
Yeah.
Never 21 when everyone's a sailor, coming up strong at the Animal Bar. Ever-loving Marg of Mr. Norman Mailer, turn another page at the Animal Bar, and it won't be long. No, it won't be long. No, it won't be long, because it can't be long. The cry of oscillation, the higher meditation, the sweet precipitation, the higher deprivation, and it won't be long. No, it won't.
So, something, It's okay to listen to. It's maybe I don't know if I need this song for 5.5 minutes.
No.
Like, this chorus is fine too, but
I
like,
do like how it goes back into it after the chorus.
yeah. Especially with the like weird like effect they have on the vocals or whatever. We'll get to that so you guys can hear it. That could be Ebo too.
Oh really?
It could be. You know, some of those effects and keyboards and like a lot of those things can kind of make the same sound. So sometimes it's hard to tell what's actually happening. But an Ebo could definitely do that. Moving on.
Yeah, dude.
This one, I'm not crazy about.
It's like the only fast one on this CD.
Yeah.
Oh, I like this one.
Let's just wait till we get to the part I'm not crazy about. That was it.
Oh yeah.
I mean, Animal Bar already has the chorus where he's like, and now it's, You guys are going to want to watch that on YouTube.
I like the chorus.
You like this?
Yeah.
This is the best part, but and especially when the strings come in, it's a synthesizer or whatever. That is good. Oh, this is good too. I think the problem for me with this song is that I hate the.
Oh yeah.
I hate that part.
Uh-huh.
And I think that this song, to me, just feels like it's Frankenstein a little bit. Like, here's a cool part we have, here's a cool part we have, here's a cool part we have, here's a fourth cool part we have. And let's find a way to put them into a song together. It doesn't, to me, it doesn't. One thing I really like about this album is that most songs don't feel that way. You know, they all have these different parts, but they work together. This one, it just feels a little bit shoehorned in there. And I can already tell what clip we're going to be using for the YouTube. So we come out of this, which I don't love, and we go into one that I do love.
Oh yeah.
The beginning reminds me of Love Roller Coaster.
Who's that by?
The Ohio Players did the original, but Chili Peppers covered it for the Beavis and Butthead soundtrack. Cool, right?
Yeah, dude.
Cool guitar tone.
Drums are cool.
It harkens back a little bit to older Chili Peppers
Yeah.
with the like call and response, like the whoop, whoop.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You know?
Yep.
And then like it backs off a little bit for the pre-chorus before it like ramps up again. I really like that song.
Yeah.
The next one is We Believe.
one's kind of annoying, but it's cool.
What's annoying about it?
Like his tone of his voice.
Yeah.
The curtain is open.
He's just like soda pop.
Come clean in.
Yeah, that's funny.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, but you're right. I never thought about it. He is kind of doing like an
Mono, like
kind of like Sting.
yeah.
You know, like when you hit some of those Police songs with Sting, you're like, what voice are you doing there? Like, that's not. I don't know. I think I get what you're saying. And you can yeah, you think you're in the studio. You can imagine him in the studio, like, and the faces he'd be making, like, what little act are you doing?
I don't know.
But that's how I felt about Around the World when he does that, like, scatting.
Yeah.
And you explained that, like, his kid was in there. At least that was the story. Like, his kid's in there, and the kid thought it was funny.
So like he left it in there, yeah.
Yeah, and maybe it's, I could see whether or not a kid was in there, like, maybe he genuinely thinks that's funny.
Yeah.
And, like, it's just going to leave it in there.
Yeah.
Because it is kind of funny.
Yeah.
He's making, picking his nose, like, oh, bop, bop. I don't know what other things he would do. Gonna pick up shopping.
Yeah.
Soda pop. Soda pop. But the chorus is good. We just talked right through it. But you guys can check this song out. The chorus, I think, is really good, and it makes the song better than this part. What do you think?
I like it.
Would you listen to it?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I would listen.
Cool. Here it comes. I'm just gonna play it. Oh. Yeah. I'm really into this part.
I like it.
I gotta dig it.
Yeah.
You said that she looks to me as kind of Wet Sandish. And I get what you're saying, but Wet Sand is number 13 on the Jupiter album, and Turn It Again is 13 on the Mars disc. And I actually think this is the Wet Sand of. They're in the same position. I think this is even though they're not similar songs, but it's, first of all, it's 6 minutes long. Sorry, I need to turn the jam down a little bit while we talk. This one's 6 minutes long, so it's kind of long like Wet Sand. And it's, again, like a build to like a rockin' finish. You know this one?
I can't really remember this one.
I am going to fast forward through it. Because like I said, with Wet Sand, it's a slow build. So I'm going to get to like the 4-minute mark.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, that song rules, right?
Yeah.
I mean, for a guitar player, too. Part of why I liked Wet Sand was because I could just jam to that song. Like,
Yeah.
I could play it.
This one's a jam, too.
This one, there are 4 guitar solos going on at the same time. I mean, it's one solo, I guess, but, like, there's 4 guitar parts that are all part of the solo going on at once there. And it's all, like, good. It's all good. That song is strong. So I think this is my Wet Sand also. Track
really?
13 on both, I think are my favorites. But and that takes us into Death of a Martian. It's good.
Bear paws and rascal power, watching us in your garage. Big girl, you ate the neighbor. The Nova is over. Wake up and play by the radio. Make room for Clara's bare feet. The lover, a Martian. Tick tock and waiting for the meteor. This clock is up on in another door. Lots of love, just keep it coming, make something out of nothing. These are the best that I don't know how to say. Look at what I love to
So, one of my, let's see how to describe this. He's not a coworker, but one of the salespeople we work with. He loves Chili Peppers, so he's been listening to these. And he was talking to. We had a meeting the other day, and he was talking to me about it. And one of my coworkers, who's familiar with the podcast, is like, "Dude, you shouldn't be listening to it. You should be watching it because we put these on YouTube, right?" And I'm just thinking about people watching us on YouTube as these songs play, just sort of nodding our heads
yeah.
and watching the Ravens game
Yeah,
on TV. We're sitting, the TV's on, but it's on mute, and we're just looking like this off to the
It's like
side.
the soundtrack for the game.
Right. So, yeah. Anywho, this song's good, too. It doesn't, I'm trying to think.
It just
It's not exactly like a under the, or not under the bridge, something in the way, or like Foo Fighters are also masters of like capping the album off with something epic. So it's and something in the way is similar in that it's like clear that this is the end of the album.
Oh yeah.
You know, this one is sort of like that, but it's not quite. You know,
Dude,
as
it's what would play like during while the credits roll, dude.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, when you put it that way, it is. But anyway, all I'm saying about it is it's not an epic. It's not so much of a signal that the album's over. It is mellow, and it's good, but it's not my favorite. It's not like, man, I just can't wait to get to Death of a Martian. I think more often than not, I'd listen to Turn It Again and then maybe quit.
Oh.
That doesn't mean I just had an inner conflict as I was talking. I want to listen to a little more of this and see if maybe I'm wrong.
a little soul, lots of love and keep it coming, make something out of nothing. These are the best that I don't know how to say.
I had to think a little more because you know what we're about to do. We're about to
Yeah.
cover Cut and Hidden Gem.
Yeah, dude.
So for those of you who are first-time listeners, we always pick a song we would cover, a song we would cut from the album, and then a hidden gem, which is a song that, or what we think is the best song that wasn't a single. Even though this is a double album, we have a cover, cut, and hidden gem for both discs. So what, do you want to go first for what you'd cover? What would you
Dude,
cover
Tell
from
Me
this
Baby.
one? Oh, yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
I think that's the right answer, you know. The funny thing about the cover part is that when it suits us, I think we change our own stipulations for what makes a good cover, right?
Mhm.
Like sometimes I'm like, well, but we would be really good at this, even though the audience wouldn't know
Yeah.
it. Like, Tell Me Baby is the right answer because it's the only one I think that people would know.
Mm.
If I was ignoring that, I think Desecration Smile would be the.
Oh yeah.
No.
Probably. I don't know. I answered mine, man.
Yep, it's Tell Me Baby. That's
Yeah.
the right answer. Okay. Do you have a cut? I have a cut.
Probably if.
I think Death of a Martian.
Really?
That's what I was. That's why I had to play it again
Mm-hmm.
because, you know, the thing with the cut, it's not always your least favorite song. At least the way I judge it, it's not always the least favorite song. It's the song that you could do without. Like
Yeah.
it's the song that the album remains cohesive even though that song's not on there anymore. And I think I didn't intend to do this, but I think, as I said, like, I think I could listen to Turn It Again and then just like turn the album off. I think that's true. I don't think I need Death of a Martian to be on here. And if at least as a segue between, like, okay, you got through the first part of the album that is pretty much all bangers.
Yeah.
Like Desecration Smile through Ready Made. They're not all like hard, but they're all like really strong songs. And then you get to like weirder stuff kind of at the end. And If is like the bridge between them. I might even say the Death of a Martian is only what I would cut because of its position. I think if you put Death of a Martian after Ready Made and put If at the end, no, I think I'd still cut Death of a Martian.
Yeah.
Because I think If works better at the very end because it's so different.
Yeah.
Kind of like the Something in the Way argument.
Or like, yeah.
So, but then again, it's not like I think one is the obvious choice and one sucks. Like If is totally my second choice and it's by a hair.
Yeah.
Hidden Gem.
Dude.
So you can the singles from this disc are Desecration Smile, oddly enough, and Tell Me Baby. So
Storm in a Teacup, dude.
Storm in a Teacup.
Yeah.
A tiny storm in your teacup, girl. Oh man, this has a bunch of potential hidden gems.
It does.
Storm in a Teacup is a really good choice. Turn It Again is really good. I think for me, She Looks to Me is the one I'd pick though.
Yeah.
Only because when I think of this disc, that's like the first song. I think of Desecration Smile first because I think that's maybe my go-to except for Wet Sand. It's kind of like my go-to for both discs, but I think She Looks to Me is second. She Looks to Me and Desecration Smile also are like very similar to me. But I love them both. I think my hidden gem is She Looks to Me. So that's that for this album, I believe. So we're gonna next week we're gonna cover, well, in about 10 minutes or less, we're gonna record the next.
Yeah, dude.
But you guys in a week will be able to hear the I'm With You episode as we move off the masterpiece of Stadium Arcadium. Please, it is a masterpiece. Please subscribe first, then rate, then review. Do all those things. Also, don't forget, get wet.
I got a story once was told. Two young boys going to the liquor store where they sold their souls. Hey, yeah. Oh, wah, wah, wah. And I got a story once was sold. Two young boys going to the liquor store where they sold their souls. And I got a story once was sold. Two young boys going to the liquor store where they sold their souls. Hey, yeah. Oh, wow, wow, wow.
You would. It would probably help if we did, honestly. But
See, dude.